we got up early this morning, ready for that other podcast, but it didn't happen. I thought I was going to go back to sleep, but I just stayed up from then.
Damn, on us. Oh wait, today's Friday. I thought it was Saturday for a second.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's an early rising on a Saturday.
Yeah. I was saying though, it's kind of easier now that it's getting light though, man. I don't know what it's like over there in the mornings now.
I mean, I wake up at 8 and it's already really bright.
Yeah.
I think it rises kind of early as well.
Yeah,
It was
that's
bright
good.
at 6 this morning.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think the clocks change
I like it.
soon, so it might be even easier. Or, yeah, I can't remember how it works. I think we gain more daylight in the evening or something when the clocks change.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right.
it should be decent.
Yeah, man. Summer's coming up slowly but surely. We're past that shitty winter stage anyway. Starting to get a bit better.
Summertime's the best time in England, man.
I know,
Vibes
man.
is right.
Yeah,
We
literally.
crave it so much in the UK as well. It's like that just couple weeks of sun we get every year. It's just so nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it just doesn't last long at all. It's like a third of the year is half decent, and then the rest of it is just miserable. Yeah,
That is why British people are so miserable, man. Yeah, we want to be in Thailand this summer anyway. That'll be the better experience.
You're more than welcome, man. I've been since I put out that video, a lot of people have been hitting me up to come here, whether that's for a few weeks or to actually move here. And I've met a lot of either a lot of producers who are actually here, or producers who are moving here soon, which is ridiculous. Like, I'm really, really surprised how many people wanna. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like a lot of people want to leave the UK right now.
yeah. I've been feeling
I
that
feel like
too.
everyone always says that though. Everyone always does talk about that. Like when you link up, I'm trying to get out of here, man. Not feeling the UK. UK's bad vibes, but then not many people actually do it.
Yeah, I feel like it can be hard to leave because for the shit that people give it, it is a good place. You know what I mean? Especially for opportunity. But literally, like in the last 3 or 4 days, I had a long conversation with a producer yesterday who's moving. I had a long conversation with like another famous producer who lives here, but I didn't even know. He's kind of like low key about it, I guess.
Oh,
and
really?
then, like a couple other people. It's crazy.
Damn. Yeah, Jack
man.
was saying it the other day, wasn't he? When we were on that call with Simon as well.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we could
I can see why though.
start like
It's
a
just
little
a nice
producer
lifestyle.
online community here or something, you know. Especially
Everything's
if
like so
online,
cheap
it's
over there.
calm.
Well,
I will be
way
sick.
more affordable to live over there than it is here at the minute. It's just
Oh boys, I'm
so
getting like
expensive.
internet problems. I think. Is all your connections okay?
You was freezing up on me a little bit.
It's freezing on me. I don't know if you can still hear
Yeah,
me.
I think mine.
I can hear you, but your face is freezing.
How about now?
Yeah, same here.
What about now?
I think I'm back now. It seems all right now.
Oh, you're delayed now.
Yeah, there's like a weird delay. Like we can hear you, and then like a second
from me?
later, your voice comes through. Sorry,
Oh,
like
really?
I can hear you, and then like
Yeah.
your mouth moves later.
Let me just try and figure this
Okay,
out.
I think now you're in.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Look-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's better.
you're working up for me now.
Yeah.
It's weird because whenever I do like download speed tests, like even now on the podcast, it's hitting like 60 meg, and then when I'm off the podcast, it hits over 100. So I'm like, my internet should be fast, but then for some reason when I live stream or like go on podcasts, like something happens. But all right, if it's working, we'll just run with it. Let's chop these parts out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think so speaking of all this, I need to do it this weekend, man. It's gonna be so long. But you know when you do like a full factory reset on your computer, like reinstall Windows or refresh Mac or whatever. I think it's time, man. I haven't done it in years and I've just noticing some stuff that's acting a bit glitchy. But I'm so shook to do it. Because you forget like how many files you've actually got. Like I was making some notes to think, right, have I backed up this, that, and this? And it's like there's so much. It's like you can back up all your pictures and music and shit, but then you think, oh, but the presets in my plugins and then this and then that. And then It's quite hectic.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big. That's a big job. You got all your plugins. You got to reinstall.
Yeah,
everything's like, oh man, that's gonna take so long.
That's
but
it.
It's definitely worth doing though.
But it's got to be done.
Yeah,
it's like getting into a laptop, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a whole day's worth of just reinstalling shit.
Yeah.
I guess you've got like all of your like in FL when you record stuff, it records it to like a certain file. Are you gonna back all that up as well, or is that all just gonna get wiped?
Yeah, no, I think I'll save that. You mean like when you're like, say if you save something as a unique sample, or if you're sampling something and then it saves those files? Yeah, I think that they'll get backed up anyway. I'm just gonna save my whole FL folder and then just transfer everything back across. So I should have my presets and everything still. Fingers crossed.
That's good then. Should save a bit of time.
Yeah, hopefully. Big job. But it's a task for the weekend anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Also, I was looking into upgrading my interface, man. See what you guys think. I think it's time, man. I've used the Focusrite for a while now. And I do see more and more videos of people saying like you're not getting the most out of your monitors and like your actual sound quality just using an interface. I think the Focusrite is like pretty good for what it is for the price.
Yeah.
I was watching some decap videos, and I know this guy's like a scientist when it comes to anything to do with engineering, and he keeps praising these RME ones. Have you seen those before?
Nah, I never even heard of it.
No, me neither.
Check them out. There's like a lot of videos comparing them to Apollos, and like Decap sold his Apollo to get an RME. And I think Eldre did the same. So I've been like, man, I'm missing something here. I need to turn into RMEs.
Quite big between RME and Apollo.
Just gonna have a look now.
One sec.
1100 for one.
Is that like is it many ports or is it just like the standard 2?
I think it just looks like the standard 2, but there's 2 on the picture. There's like one with like loads of inputs and then one with like just a couple. So I don't know which one it is. And then there's another one that looks like the Apollo Twin, but it's that one's 719. So
is that the RME one?
Yeah, the Babyface Pro.
Babyface.
Yeah.
Is that? And then I was looking at it might be called the Fireface UCX2 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that one, which is a bit more expensive. And then there's like a strip. Oh, no,
that's like the strip.
Yeah, the strip one, yeah. Yeah, 2,300.
There's that one as well.
Yeah.
So
is that the one you're getting? The strip?
I'm not sure yet. I can never make a decision, man. I'm so indecisive with things. I feel like I'm quite analytical. Whenever I'm buying something, I've got to compare everything and fucking watch review videos. Like I can never just make a decision quick.
Yeah.
So maybe that smaller one, just that small Fireface UCX2. But then I was thinking, if I get a strip, then I'd have to get like a rack to mount it in, and then you've got to get like more like power support for that. But it could be good to finally have my one synth connected if I did something like that.
Then you might
going on about
use it
this.
It's always plugged in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe, but even that smaller one, that Fireface UCX2, that has I think it has like 8 inputs. So I only need like a mic, guitar sometimes, and then stereo output for the synth. And I have got another synth that, like a smaller one that I haven't really used, but like we just said, if we had like everything connected at the same time, it would be easy. I'd probably use it way more. You've got a strip, haven't you? You've got the Apollo one.
Yeah, I got one called the Apollo X8. I kind of need it though, so I can have all the synths connected at the same time. So it makes things a lot easier.
So you've got the X8 and then all the synths and everything just connect directly to that. And then do you have anything else in a rack? Like, do you have more? You can get those like power surges and things like that.
Yeah, I've got this. I got a power strip. So when I power on the power strip, it powers on everything, like all the synths. Usually my monitors, just not right now because I haven't got enough cables.
Right.
But yeah, the monitors as well.
So do the synths like plugs?
Interface.
Do the synths plug directly into that power strip, or do you have to plug them into the mains and then connect them to the power strip?
No,
like, does it go
straight into the power strip? So, yeah, but it's nice though. You turn it on and everything turns on. Turn it off, everything turns off.
That's quite handy.
Yeah. What's the power strip you've got?
It's called Furman. And it just has loads of power sockets.
Yeah, called a power conditioner. Oh yeah, I think I've seen those before. Like the M10XE.
Yeah, so yeah, that's calm. And then all the synths are stereo as well, so that I have 2 inputs. It takes up 2 inputs each. Except for the Moog, actually, that's just single. So
right. Okay.
4, 5 inputs in, mic 6, and then guitar 7, 8 that I use out of all of them.
Okay. And then when you're recording videos, is it tricky does it mess up any audio when you're screen recording? Because I've made videos when I've been using a guitar before, and I've had to like change the audio settings just to get the guitar in the video, but then I couldn't have my mic and the guitar input playing at the same time. It was weird. It's like you had to change the interface settings just to allow the guitar audio and then change it back, but you can't talk and have that.
Nah, I don't have that issue. But all my audio just comes. I think I do it very differently to you though, because you use OBS, FL Studio, and a Focusrite, whereas like I use Logic, Camtasia, and Apollo. So it's like it's a very different kind of like setting workflow. My Camtasia picks up. My Camtasia records all the audio interface audio, and Logic comes out through the audio interface.
Oh, okay. So it's all in
one. Makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess because you've got that Apollo software as well. Maybe it's because it runs through that. Whereas we don't really use the Focusrite software much. Like you can't like load plugins into that or anything. You just use it to control some settings.
Yeah, maybe. But I recommend it. I like Camtasia more than OBS as well for screen recording. It's just more reliable.
Yeah, I can't lie. We've definitely had issues with OBS, but Camtasia is just long for when you finish because you have to wait for the whole thing to render after, don't you?
Yeah, you have to export it after. And that takes a while. If I've recorded for like 45 minutes, then that's going to take me like an hour. But it's one of those things you can just set it and forget it.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, that's true. All this technical stuff.
Right, I need to look into that then. I know.
Yeah, I think it hopefully is useful to people who do want to record though. Because
100%.
Get confusing.
I do get questions
to
a lot.
out what to use.
Yeah. They do always wonder like, how do you record the screen? How do you film and record the mic at the same time and the internal audio? But yeah, it's just so much to think about. Like when you're filming for a YouTube video, people kind of think it's just cooking up and then it's just that's it. But yeah, you got to like remember about 10 different things before you even start filming to actually get like a solid recording.
Definitely.
Yeah. The amount of times we've done sessions
can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, the amount of times we've done sessions when I think we've been to Pirate, and then there's whenever we filmed for your channel, there was always one thing you'd forgot, like you'd plug the mic in but not turn it on, or you'd turn the mic on and not plug it into the camera, so you get no audio, and then screen recording would fuck up, or like FL will crash. Like, yeah, there's always something.
Yeah, it's important to know those things, man. And even like, because as producers, we don't always get properly involved in a lot of like hardware stuff as well. Like we might use a bit of an interface and maybe some sims, but you know when you step into like a large studio and there's like loads of hardware stuff there, and like to see like the back end of that, like how everything's patched and like routed, like we don't always mess around with that stuff, do we?
No,
not that we necessarily need to, but I feel like at least like some stuff's interesting to know and can help you if you're ever in those sessions. But I guess that's what an engineer's there for if you book in a big studio.
Yeah, man. Because that shit can get so complex. Even yesterday, I was with someone, his name's Jay as well, and he uses MPC, so we was trying to figure out how to connect like synths to MPC, but using MIDI. And man, like we spent about 2 hours just trying to figure that out, how to record it properly. It was mad. So many tutorials and stuff like that. To not really like fully get what we want just yet, but
man,
it would be sick if everything was just wireless. I can't lie to you. If we could just figure out how do we get no latency. I'll connect my synth, just turn on a Bluetooth or something like that, and it connects to the audio
just works.
interface, which connects to my laptop. No wires, some shit like that.
Mm. Do you think there will be like a synth?
Yeah.
Someone needs to
out?
invent that.
Do you think there'll be something soon that'll come out that's like a wireless synth, or because there's the wireless headphones, there's the wireless speakers. Yeah,
maybe.
surely.
Yeah, surely we're moving in that direction. If we can do AI and we can do really complex things, surely we could move to like wireless stuff. Remember when we used to play like PS1 or PS2 and it's wired, and then you get to PS3 and it's wireless, and we're like, fucking hell.
Oh
wireless.
my god. Yeah.
Like we need to get to that level with producing.
True.
Yeah, wires, even just like headphone wires now feels ancient to me. You know, when you got used to like a few wireless things. Like I just grabbed these because the battery died, but it's it just feels like, right. Remember when everyone had iPhones with like those headphones with the cables that they just came with? Like you never really see those anymore. Now everyone's got AirPods, and then you've got companies like III making the first like wireless studio monitors and headphones. So maybe they'll share their technology with some.
Wireless mic. I mean, we got it. We got it for the cameras as well now. When you think about it, we always used to have the thing on top. Now it's like clip onto your chest. It's nice.
That's true.
The wireless mics have been there for a while as well, really, because you've got like the ones that they use more for live shows. I'm sure you could use those if you really wanted to.
Yeah, is that the ones where like it clips on, but then they've got like a pack attached to their trousers? Is that the one you mean?
Well, there's those, but even like the holding mics as well. Like at shows, you'll have like wireless mics that you hold, but then there'll be a receiver on the other end connected.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's definitely already a thing. But yeah, if this could just chill, just float in front of me, it would be all right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. Cable management is just, it's not it. It's long.
Yeah.
I feel like it. Like in my old place, when I didn't manage my cables properly, I used to hate looking at it, man. I'd be like, every day I'd be like, man, I need to sort these cables out, but it's such a big job. It almost like puts you out of a good state of mind because you've just got all this mess around you. You know, like when people used to say like a tidy space is a tidy mind, like that's actually a thing, man. Like if you come into your studio and the whole place is fucked, then you're like, I don't know, you just feel a bit out of place. But then once you got a fresh room, tidy room, it's like, right, good to go now.
But then it lasts like 2 days.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was living in Cyprus, my ex's dad was the same thing. Like he'd tidy his shed, make it like immaculate, and then like he'd start working on something, and then like 2 days later, it's just an absolute tip again. And yeah, it's just, I think it's just how it goes, and especially same with studio stuff. Like you can make it nice and clean and tidy, and then like start working on stuff, get the guitar out, start getting instruments out, and then within like a day, it's just back to a mess again.
Yeah, that's it. Speaking of those wireless mics, Ocean, I seen that you switched from the Rode ones to the is it the DJ something? I forgot the name.
DJI.
What made you?
The DJI mic
for filming? What made you switch?
My Rode mic, my Rode Go mics, I think they're called. It just stopped. It for some reason it kept on messing up. So I'd be recording the video and then I'd look on my screen and no signals coming through. Like it would just cut out, but the battery would still be on. So I just thought, okay, I just need to replace it. And then I think I seen you, LB, that had it first. And I like that you can just put it in the charging case.
Yeah.
So I don't have to keep on plugging it in. It just charges when I put it in here.
Yeah.
And then also I could see the signal. I can face the block to me and see the
towards
signal, which is ideal. Yeah. And then I can't lie, the quality is really good. It kind of it cuts out like a lot of background noise. I kind of I like it. I low-key prefer it compared to the Rode mic, but I'm sure like the next Rode mic, they're probably going to look at DJI and be like, all right, we need to up our game.
I was just going to say they've already released a new one. I don't know if you've seen it, but they released a new one because I was looking at it. I've got my old ones on eBay right now because I was going to upgrade to the new ones, even though I don't use the wireless ones that much. But with the new ones, they come with a charging case. The Rode ones come with a charging case, and then they come with some attachments to make it like a magnet. Because I used to hate like clipping it onto your shirt and stuff because it ruins your shirt. You know, if you've got it on for hours, you end up with this big like pull in your shirt. So they've changed it now so you can get the magnet thing, but then they've also introduced 32-bit float, which means like when you're recording, even if your audio clips, you can save it. So when you've had sessions and the speaker's been on and you just got this nasty distortion, like when it's 32-bit, you can just pull it down and it still saves all the information. Like there's no clipping in a way. Like it clips but doesn't clip, so you can just pull it back down. Like you're never going to lose your audio.
Yeah,
so they released some nice features, man. I was looking at them.
The DJI one has the magnet thing as well, which is good.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I got them.
But it seems like they're going head to head for these wireless microphones.
Yeah,
definitely.
Which is good for us. But I'm definitely happy with these DJI mic ones. They're a lot more expensive than from when I got the Rode mics, but the quality.
What were they, like 300 or something?
I think I spent like either 250 or 280.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember because it was in Thai money. But then the Rode Go mics at the time were like 150, maybe 180, I think.
I think they're even more now, the Wireless Pro. They're probably like 350.
Damn.
Yeah, 350 to get the new ones with the charging case and everything.
I think with the DJI ones as well, like even if you lose connection to the receiver, you can record it directly onto the mic. There's like a button you press and then it flashes red and it means it's recording. You can record like 12 hours of audio on like the one piece, and then you just plug that into the laptop, and then you can kind of back up the audio basically, which is quite handy. And I'm sure you could do that on the roads too.
Oh, that's real nice.
Yeah,
they actually introduced that on the new one just to compete with them. I think a lot of the features that they added were like they'd already done it.
Yeah, they're going off. They're battling.
Yeah. That's jokes. Yeah. I think it's weird that we haven't really upgraded Huh?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we had that whole phase of like upgrading stuff maybe like 2 years ago. Like we'd always be looking for a new camera, a new lens, mics. But I think now we've got like, I don't know how often you'd need to upgrade though. I know like with producer stuff, like you need to upgrade. I don't know how often you need to do it, but I feel like we've all got setups now where you don't really where it's good. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to keep adding to it when it comes to filming, like for YouTube stuff.
Pretty much all the equipment I got is kind of grandfathered in. There's not really any need to switch anything. Like I wouldn't need a new audio interface. Definitely don't need a new mic. The only thing, I could upgrade on my monitors, but then if I upgrade my monitors, I'm just getting like amazing, like top of the line ones. That's what I could upgrade to next. And then those I'd probably have for many years as well.
Yeah.
Unless they bring out they bring out everything wireless, then
change the whole setup
again. Yeah.
Yeah, if Adam Audio bring out wireless monitors, then game's over then. Well, I feel like we never need stuff. Well, I'm just a technology, like, I'm a junkie, man. Like, I like buying new stuff. Even though I don't need it, I'm always just looking at stuff, just in case. But I know what you're saying. Like, there's certain things that you just wouldn't need to replace. Like, even like MIDI keyboards, I've got like 3 different ones, but I only ever really use it for the actual keys and the stop and start and record features. Like, I'm never actually messing with everything. Sometimes pitch and modulation, but I'm not using everything else in it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I had this conversation with someone in the community, like that private community that I just launched. They were saying, like, I'm just starting out, but like, what equipment do I need? Because there's so much information out there. I just said, like, you don't need it, like, to get started. Not even to get started. Like, a lot of people kind of dial it back in terms of the equipment. I said, all you need really is a vibe out with like other people in the studio, in the studio. But that's basically all you need, and maybe a MIDI, just depending on your workflow, and that's literally it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, pretty much,
definitely, man. 100%.
The most important is the laptop, I think, first.
Yeah.
And make sure you have a DAW, not like a demo or something like that. Like get your DAW, and then honestly, get some good plugins before you even like look at like synths or anything like that. I think as long as you have like a focus right at minimum, and if you have a good enough room, like you can make noise, then you can get some monitors. Otherwise, maybe just go for headphones. Like the first 2 or 3 years, I only used headphones. I
Yeah,
think
same here.
it wasn't until I finally had a room where I could cook up in, like a proper, just separate room for the studio. That's when I got monitors, and it took me a little while to adjust because I wasn't used to using monitors. I was just using speakers. I mean, not speakers, sorry, headphones.
Yeah.
And everything was indoor. And then slowly kind of expanded outwards.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I'm the same. Like even now, most of the time I'm cooking up with headphones. If I'm filming anyway, if I'm not filming, then just cook up with monitors. But with headphones, you just hear things that you wouldn't hear on speakers. Because if your room's not properly treated as well, you're just hearing like a lot of reflections and a lot of phasing issues and stuff like that. But then when you've got headphones on, as long as you've got like a good pair where it's not like where they're not like overly boosted, you know, like if you got some Beats by Dre, like the bass is quite heavy in them.
Yeah.
Like if you get some good like monitoring headphones, you're good to go with those really. But even that, it's like you kind of just get used to your sound as well, don't you? Like if you know how the mixes translate, like even if you were just using like AirPods, for example, and then you kind of knew how they translated across to other systems, like, it's fine. You can still cook up with them. But you're gonna have to learn how they translate in a way. It's like you'll cook up with them and then you'll put it on in the car and it's like, the bass is too much. And then you just know to bring it back a bit for the next time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Just over time you get used to it. And I guess like another thing that I'll say, like, because it doesn't really matter too much on your home setup, like just get a reference track if you're not 100% sure. Like if you want the drums to sound a certain way, then just find like another song that sounds like that. And then just use that to compare, or even like type beats on YouTube, because they're ones that are like not been mastered and, you know, like fully mastered and like it's not a finished product. It's just the beat ready for a rapper to use. So yeah, just using like a reference beat is quite helpful for that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think type beats is definitely a good one to do, especially if it's one that's like that you really like the sound of. Because you're right. When I used to like use actual tracks as a reference, but then because actual tracks with vocals on, I've had like limiters on them and they've been processed a bit differently to work around a vocal. I don't know. They always just sound different to how you'd make the beat. So I don't know. Sometimes those type beats can be a better reference. If that makes sense.
Definitely.
In some ways anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I still know a lot of people that just cook up on a laptop and headphones and don't have any crazy equipment. And sometimes I'm even, in a weird way, sometimes I'm jealous of being able to do that. I think we spoke about this a few times on the podcast as well, just having the ability to be able to cook up the same way, like anywhere you are. Like if I definitely make my best beats just here by myself in this setup. And then when I've got my laptop out somewhere else, I don't know, it just feels a bit unnatural to me. But if you just went back to that simplicity of just having a laptop and being able to work anywhere, that's a good skill to have, because I don't know, then when you're in sessions with people and in different environments, you're still going to have your normal workflow.
Yeah. I've been playing around with that a lot and I like it. I'm not going to usually like, you know, do the whole thing, not the mix or anything like that, but just to get my idea down and get a basic structure. I was even doing it today. I kind of got bored of being in this room. So I was literally just lying on my bed and just lying flat, but cooking up. And I was like, most people would view this as very unproductive, but this is a vibe for me right now. Like,
it changes every day, doesn't it? Like, one day you want to be in your studio, next day you want to be in bed, next day coffee shop, next day your front room, TV on. Just depends on what you're doing. Yeah,
but definitely, like, I prefer to finish a beat in the studio. Honestly, like, I noticed the difference though. Like in here, it's very echoey because I haven't got any acoustic panels. But when I had the studio in Cockfosters, where they had acoustic treatment, it makes a huge difference to the way you hear your beats. Like every beat I made there slapped. Like I never got my 808 and my kick to sound like how it did before, like when I was there. And then as soon as I moved back to Soho, the difference was like night and day again. So
it was
definitely in FL Studio there.
That is true. We're using a lot more of FL Studio at Cockfosters. I think that might be be the trick.
My beats just slapping. I don't know what it is.
But I felt like everyone would say like, "Oh, you can't get your beats to knock in Logic." when I was in that studio, my beats were
They were
knocking.
knocking. Yeah, they were knocking. Although, you know, like in Cockfosters, if you sat on the sofa at the back of the room, there'll be like the bass would be like crazy. Like it would sound way different to when you stood up, and then when you sit down, it sounded different too. You know, sit down at the desk.
Is this
Like
when we had issues when we would be like, is that the right note?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had that a couple of times.
Yeah. But no,
I think I remember.
That was a sick studio, to be fair. That was a cool place.
Yeah, it was, man. That was a good setup. What would your dream setup be?
One with windows, I think. As good as the Cockfosters one was, with all the acoustic panels and stuff. I like windows. I like a little, just a bit of sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you got one of those places, you know, like if you live in, you know, you can get if you've got like a nice garden, you can get those like outbuildings that are like all windows, like bifold doors, and then the big long windows around the other sides. I think that'd be sick. And then obviously treat it acoustically, nice old school rug down, a lot of greenery. A couple like instruments sort of dotted about.
Hard to treat with windows though, I'm imagining, because you get like mad reflections. I guess that's why a lot of studios don't have them.
Yeah, definitely. You could get like the double panel thingies. It's not the same. You might have to sacrifice a little bit, but I'm kind of willing to sacrifice a little bit of quality just to have like
that
nice
bit
view.
mid.
I kind of like the aesthetic of studios which are not fully studios. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know what you mean.
They have a bit of a homey feel.
Yeah.
No,
I'll tell you who setup I did really like was Al Huggs. I think he kind of hit that balance where it was like cozy, but it was well treated, but it was just vibey, like nice and like, I don't know, just had like a cozy vibe to it.
Yeah, and his house was at kind of like the top of a hill, wasn't it? So you stand out on his garden and you just got this nice view of I forgot what the city it was.
Zurich.
Was it Zurich? Yeah. You just got this nice view there. Yeah. I could imagine someone like Post Malone or someone like that just having like a nice natural home studio, loads of windows.
Yeah, because he lives up like in is it Alaska or some like some snowy mountains or something. He lives up in some crazy place.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's got a crazy
and obviously
setup.
As producers, if we're not like having to worry about professional mixing to the point where we're mixing vocals and mastering tracks and things like that, we don't really need everything like that. I guess we need a vibe more than we actually need the sound in a weird way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. To get that idea down, that's the most important. As long as if you can get access to a professional studio every now and again, if you really want to mix, that would be ideal. But yeah, definitely I prefer more like vibey aesthetic. Honestly, like I've seen a couple, I don't know about you guys, but on my Instagram, on the For You or the Explore page, most of it is just like interior all of a sudden. So I get like loads of interior design shit and aesthetic studios. So I like the more aesthetic ones rather than the ones that are like professional studios, the huge desk.
Yeah.
With I like a random desk that happens
Gami
to have
setup.
all the studio equipment. Yeah,
Gami
I love Gami setup. Gami setup is lovely.
I love that. Yeah, it's so actually cool. He's got like the train going past, like
and
industrial.
He's got the perfect colors and stuff like that.
Yeah, the color scheme is like spot on, like proper retro.
Yeah, it's very like vintage vibes, isn't it?
Yeah,
it suits him. It's like his character.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think I don't even make. I haven't been in them like loads, but when I'm in like big studios and I'm not used to the sound, I don't even make incredible beats there. But maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. If you were in there like every day and that was your setup, then you'd just get used to it and then things would get natural. But I do notice when I'm working somewhere else for a day, it could be like the sickest studio with like the best equipment, but I feel like I could still create a bit of vibe here.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I guess it's because it's your natural place.
Yeah.
Your habitat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. Have you guys seen? Did you say you guys have taken in Metro's new album?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it in the gym the other day. It's good, man.
It's so good for the gym, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect for that. I just done a video on it actually, which is coming out on Tuesday.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I was feeling it. Man. I don't know what my favorite track is. There's a couple on there that stood out to me. I do actually like that one with Kendrick. I can see why that's just getting loads of attention. Obviously, the fact that he's dissing and Drake, but it's just a sick track as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's a few bangers on there.
I can't lie, man. I think my favorite is Type Shit. The beat is just so hard.
Type Shit.
Yeah, it's so hard, and the video's like, it's not even like a crazy budget visual video, but the video just slaps perfect with it. Yeah,
I think that's what I did my tutorial based on.
Type
Shit, and there was one other. It was like a combination of the two, just like dark pianos, like some synths. Yeah, that one's hard, man.
Yeah, so hard. There's like one bar, but I didn't even realize what he said. But there's one Carti bar just as his verse starts. It's like, because he comes in weird, doesn't he? He comes in like after Travis, but then Future does like a couple lines. There's like the second bar that he says, it's like, he says something like "posted up with my dogs, Scooby Doo" type shit. I was like, only Carti could have caught with that. It just slaps though. Like even just singing along to, I was like, that's so hard.
I went down a rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos about the Metro Drake beef to try and understand it.
Oh shit!
And the Future beef and stuff like that. But what I realized is how crazy Metro actually is in terms of like how much projects he's put out and the collabs that he's done, like as an artist. It's actually insane. But it made me think like, can only Metro do that? And do you think like there's a lane in hip hop specifically where we can do like collab albums like that, but on that kind of level?
I think so.
Do you think it's because I mean, to an extent, yeah, it's because of his brand, but I mean, like, why is it not often that we see that? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I haven't seen
DJ
a Turbo
Khaled,
mixtape yet. I haven't really seen a Benny S is going to do one. I haven't seen one. I haven't seen like I haven't really seen it done to that kind of level really in hip hop too much. Metro's like absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Boy Wonder.
Yeah, Boy Wonder.
He's done like mad collab albums.
Has he?
No, sorry, Hit Boy, not Boy Wonder.
Oh, okay. Hit Boy,
yeah.
A
Boy Wonder.
Well, I know you mean there's not loads. Yeah, it would. But I think also though, it's like when Metro does it, it's Metro's sound as well. Yeah.
He brings them into their world rather than him producing what they necessarily want, even though all the artists fit on his beats kind of perfectly already. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I guess there's not as many producers compared to beat makers though. Like there's tons of like producers, but most of them just make beats and they're not really that out there or trying to do that, because it takes a certain level of confidence and skill. Like it's a completely different skill to bring an artist fully out of their comfort zone and get the best out of an artist compared to just sending beat packs. So I definitely think there's not as many people producing in that sense compared to beat making. And I don't know, maybe that was just one of his goals from like early on. Maybe he was always leaning towards doing something like that, whereas a lot of people might just want to get placements with whoever rather than just focusing on one person. But he's done it with like quite a few people as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, since like 2017, 2018, like, he's been putting out really good mixtapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing it, man.
I think there's potential. Like, why not? If that was one of your goals, then why not? You got to start from somewhere. Like, I'm sure he didn't. His first album probably wasn't like that, or his first few placements weren't like that. But he just built up a reputation, and he obviously has his sound as well, so people come to him for his sound.
I'm just surprised that more producers don't do it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see a Wheezy one, a Turbo one, a Boy Wonder one.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I'm a producer why I'm looking forward to this. Do you think... I'm trying to say, like, could there be a market for just producers in general just going ham and just releasing their own projects like that?
I think we'll see a lot more of it. Because I think we've gone in waves. Like, if you remember, like, years back, maybe when, like, Timbaland was, like, huge, for example, like, a lot of the focus was on the producer. And then it kind of shifted. And then I feel like now there is a lot more focus on the producers. Like producers are getting their brand name out a bit more. So I think we'll see a lot more of it. It's just gone in waves, hasn't it? Like even DJs, like DJs used to be like the main focus. Remember, like obviously when hip hop first started, like it was mainly the DJs that would bring the MC with them, and then the DJs kind of went like, and the producers went more to like the background. Then they came up again, and then it went more to the background again. But now I feel like we're like in people's face again.
Due to make another rise up, I feel like because DJ Mustard had a run with it as well, didn't he? Like he had, I think he's got like three albums that he released. You know, like YG, Ty Dolla $ign, and then like some like random ones that came in. So he had a good run at it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
there isn't many.
I'd definitely love to see more producers do it in hip hop for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
Who do you think would make the best album as a producer?
Benny X.
So hard to say. I think Benny X is like one of the most creative modern producers, and I think he would make an absolute madness for sure. But I definitely I'm a big fan of Wheezy's sound in general.
Wheezy, yeah, he's got some crazy sounds. What about like someone not as? He's still huge, but you know, someone like Synthetic, just a lot of stuff with Yeet. His stuff's like super creative, like super unique.
Yeah,
someone like him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'd like to hear some more like out there stuff, because there's certain projects that will drop now, and you'll know like how it's gonna sound. Like a lot of trap projects, they might have like certain unique aspects to it, or elements to it, but you still know that you're gonna hear them trap drums, heavy 808s and stuff. But I'd like to hear some just, I don't know, some mad like creative stuff.
Yeah,
I think maybe like for it to really. No, let me say, like, I think if you're gonna do it, maybe you might have to have like a sound as a producer, maybe, for it to work.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
For something for people to expect.
It would help.
I don't know.
I think it would help.
Yeah,
for sure.
All I'm saying is I definitely do want to see more people do it. For sure.
No, I'm with you there.
it's on you.
I'm with you there.
Obviously, you've done one, Jay, with Geo. Would you do more?
Yeah, I definitely do more. I just feel like I made that because it was just fun to make. Like that's why we got into producing, just to like, I don't know, cook up with your boys, have fun. So that was just like a project I wanted to put out because I liked making music with him. I don't think my brand was there enough to really do well in terms of like an album as an artist. I think I needed to be more established in the industry to make that work more. Or maybe it was just like the way we promoted it. And I think I've said before, like I was always pushing him to do like short form content, and I was just dropping like loads of ideas for that, but it just felt really unnatural to him. So we didn't end up putting out a lot of content to support the project. So I would have done things a little bit differently, but it was a learning curve, man. So I'd definitely do it again, 100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more projects you put out like that, you're just going to learn from them every time. And then at least you've got like a good portfolio there. So then, I don't know, maybe you could work with someone like better each time. Maybe you could just improve the projects each time. And then you might get to a point where you're getting recognized for those projects. And then artists will be reaching out to you to do something similar because you're proving yourself then. Whereas if you don't have much music out as an artist and you're just making beats, I don't know, it's a bit harder to prove yourself unless you're getting like mad placements constantly.
Yeah.
Would you guys
do you do something like that? I think I'd do it, yeah.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards maybe doing it with Lats because I think that would be like quite a natural process.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
It's like a 5-song
Both
thing.
of you two would be good with Lats.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do multiple, not even just like, I don't know. I'd love to just make like loads and loads of projects, honestly, in different realms.
Yeah.
A rap one, a drill one, a melodic one,
House one.
Saying? A house one, a techno one.
Drum and bass?
All over the place. Yeah. Almost like a Diplo, because I feel like Diplo is like a producer who kind of epitomizes of like dipping in and out of genres.
Yeah.
He might go to country, but then he's also done hip hop, but then he also does electronic music.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have that skill set. I was thinking about this recently, actually, and we might have even spoke about it before, about like having your sound versus just being able to cook up whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but right now I feel like I'm a bit lost in the sense of I don't know what I want to make fully. Like, I've got bored of drill. I feel like drill isn't really popping like it was. So each day I'm like just making up some different stuff. Like I'll be making a bit of soul, making a bit of trap. But then I'm like, I'm not really focusing on one thing. And I don't know if I should be focusing on one thing more than others, or if I should just be making whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because when you make up just random stuff, you don't know, you're not really getting yourself known for a certain sound. But then if you're making loads of different stuff, then you could have more opportunities to work with different artists. So there's benefits to both, but I wasn't sure. I don't know. I'm in this weird battle where I'm like, man, should I really focus on one thing at the moment more than the others, or should I separate it?
I guess you're kind of
like, do though.
Hmm?
In terms of like, are you okay? So the way I look at it is like you can make loads of different stuff and make it for yourself, or if you want to be like really strategic and like get placements and stuff like that, you can kind of mold into trying to make something specific. But I think it depends on like what you want really.
Yeah, I'm making it more for myself at the moment, just because I'm not really thinking about. Yeah, I haven't been thinking about like getting people on these tracks. I'm just like, when it comes to a day of like making loops, for example, I'm like, right, what do I feel like making? And then I just make that. So I'm just kind of going by feeling at the moment, rather than, right, I'm going to work on like these melodic track loops because I'm trying to send loops out to this producer to get a placement with this artist. Like, I'm not even thinking of anything strategic like that. I'm just cooking up at the moment. But I don't know if I should be thinking more strategically.
I think everyone's different, man. And depending who you ask, they're going to tell you one thing or another. For me personally, I'm very much of like, I get bored of things really, really quickly. So maybe this week I'm focused more on like techno, but then next week I want to do more like Drake kind of style beats. And then the following week I'll switch it to something else because it keeps it fun for me, but it keeps me like learning different things and learning more. And then it's not until afterwards, then I'll try and find a home for it. Oh, I can send it to this guy. Oh, this guy would sound good on it. But that's just my style. Some people are a bit more cutthroat with it and just like, I want to get placements in drill, so I'm only making drill, and it works. That's the thing. It's like it's hard to say like what can work and what doesn't. I feel like you can just make it work for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm kind of doing something similar to you at the moment, where I'm switching up the vibe, because you do learn a lot more from making other genres like that, man. Like that whole time
and
I was
it helps
making
with the videos too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like this week, for example, I did a Eminem tutorial, which I think I've maybe done like one old school one in the past. But I was like, you know, when you make a lot of, like, I was doing a lot of drill, for example, then you'll see comments from people saying, oh, we want more stuff, we want other genres. And then you do the other genres and they're saying, don't give up on drill. So it's hard to please everyone. Yeah. But I've been doing other ones recently, and I did like the Eminem one on Tuesday, and that went like straight to #1. And that's like a really well-performing video. So I'm like, yeah, man, we really don't have to just stick to one thing.
Yeah. I guess maybe like you're used to, because you've been doing it for so long, you're used to like, it's not comfortable, but you're used to having that mindset going into making beats where you're like, drill, certain type of chords, everything. But now that you're switching it up, it's not like common. It's not like a common habit for you. It's like kind of a new habit to be switching it up. So maybe you don't feel like comfortable with it, but it's probably like if your gut's telling you to make it, then just go for it, you know?
Yeah. I think part of me was worried that, because obviously you build up your name for a certain sound. Like, most people found my channel for being like the go-to guy for drill tutorials. But then it's like, if you're not that guy anymore, then I don't know, will your audience follow you depending on what you're making? Or will they just bounce to someone else who's making drill? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like a bit of a fear, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I've done it for so long now that I don't know. It's time to branch out anyway, which I have been doing anyway. But there's always that doubt in your mind as well.
Yeah,
I hear you.
What about you, LB? Because would you say you still mostly make like melodic trap? Because I felt like you were not kind of like when I was saying people might have seen me as the go-to guy for drill. You might have been like their go-to guy for like guitar trap or like melodic trap, for example. Do you feel like you are that guy, or do you feel like you've fully been switching it up and just experimenting?
I did have like a phase of like just doing random stuff. Like I did like that little, you know, when Lil Yachty dropped that like random album with like really different like
Oh yeah,
old school kind of beats. Yeah, I did some stuff like that for a while. Just experimented with stuff. When we were running sessions all the time, we were having to like make different stuff all the time anyway. So it was kind of like not forced, but just like we were having to do it for the rappers and different artists. So yeah, we kind of just sort of got into that routine. But yeah, more recently, man, I'm kind of just like settling back into just like more of the trap stuff. And just trying to get into one lane because I do want to start like just getting more placements and just I'm sending more beats out and, you know, just like using but like sending out beats to people that we've done sessions with. And I think it's just easier for me to do that if I'm making a certain style and then I just know who I'm sending beats out to instead of like having like a pocket for like R&B, a pocket for like hype, you know, like rage style beats, or like, you know what I mean, just having like all these different beats where I'm spreading myself thin across all of them. I can just kind of focus on one. So yeah, I'm leaning more into doing like melodic trap stuff at the minute. Yeah.
got ya. And then what about you, Ocean? Because you've always been like done a lot of different things, but you definitely had one period where you were making more like trap compared to anything else, and now it feels like you're making more house than anything else. Were you kind of nervous to make that shift, especially on the channel?
Definitely, 100%, because it's not even similar to hip hop. It's a completely different
that's what
world.
I'm thinking. Like going drill to trap is like similarities, but then drill to house, that's completely different.
There's not really a crossover there. People who like house might like hip hop, or people who like hip hop might like house. But if you like drill, you most likely like trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 100%, definitely. But I don't mind taking the risk. I kind of just follow what I like to do anyway. But to be honest, like in terms of what I've been making a lot, it's a lot of loop making. I just prefer to make the melodies and kind of give them to the producers and see what they come up with, what kind of drums can they make on it. Because a lot of the times when I make melodies, I think of the drums, but I don't really have like a clear idea of where I would take it. So it's interesting to hear what other people do. And then it's only recently again now I've kind of been dipping back into the electronic stuff. Because I don't know, I get a weird feeling like sometimes I start really doing like stuff for placements and things like that because I still want placements. I still want to work with artists and stuff. But then there's also that voice in the back of my head like that taps me on my shoulder and it's like, you know what you really want to do though? And I'm like, I know, but let me just do this. And they're like, come back. And then I start making electronic music again. And then I really enjoy it, man. It's so fun. It's so fun.
I feel like you've always been good at just following your gut instincts and you're not afraid to just do what you want to make.
I don't know how good that is for business long term in terms of getting placements and that like that. Because I think the smart way is probably to do what LB's doing, focus on one thing, one lane, and just go down it. So that's what's more in my mind these days as well. Kind of like, I'm gonna do electronic music, then I need to just do electronic music. I can't dilly dally in two worlds too much.
Yeah,
just put the intention in one thing and really go for it.
I wonder what the perfect percentage split is. You know, like a lot of people talk about the 80-20 rule where you do this like 80% of the time. Like in this example, I'm thinking like if you were gonna try and focus on one thing more than the others, would the perfect amount be making 80% trap beats and then 20% experimental? Or would it be 70-30, 50-50? Do you know what I mean? Because you still want like, I don't know. I wonder what would be the most beneficial thing to do percentage-wise.
It's tough to say, man. It's really tough to say. I think though, just for like when I make music for myself, I understand that I want to make more experimental / electronic kind of stuff. But I still want to keep the side of me that does hip hop, does trap, does drill, and works with artists too. I still want to. Like I said, it's not good to dip in both worlds and not be fully intentional in one. I think, but it's working. It's kind of working for me.
Can you think of any producers, thinking of like big producers who are that perfect example of just not really having like a proper sound and just doing all sorts?
Kenny Beats,
yeah.
Skrillex to an extent. I mean, he started off with dubstep, but he can do anything.
Yeah.
I heard Marshmallow on a trap beat.
Like Fred again. But I feel like though, like that there is also once your brand is at a certain level anyway, you can just do whatever you want. But it's good to start in one lane. Like if you look at Kenny Beats, I think he's really made a name in like hip hop for himself through placements, and then he's kind of branched out. Or Skrillex making a name for himself through dubstep, and then branches out to work with Justin Bieber and the rest of them.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think I don't. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, yeah, but I think everyone's path is just so different anyway. You kind of just have to do your own thing rather than like trying to follow someone else's path. Like my path might not have been a genre necessarily. You could argue drill, but my path has been like YouTube, and then I branch out from YouTube kind of thing, where that's not super common. Do you know what I mean?
That is true. No, I feel you there.
Or like Nick Mira does. Could you call it an internet money type beat? Those, you know what I'm talking about.
There's a certain style,
beat, and then branches out. Yeah,
it's a tough one.
So KBZ might be coming back to YouTube.
Swear.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I think he posted that. I could be wrong. I definitely saw something like that. Maybe he was just playing with people.
Let's see.
So he killed it. To be fair, man, he killed it.
He streams. He streamed 11 days ago. 13 days ago, 2 weeks ago.
Does it?
Yeah, he's streaming.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
That could have been it.
His last actual video was 3 years ago.
Just going back to like the genre thing, I think you should just follow your gut, follow your natural curiosities and phases. Because I've also known top producers who have maybe started in EDM and then have crossed over to hip hop and then come back, or vice versa and stuff like that. I think just do what works for you, innit? Just follow your path, whatever that might be.
That's true. Even with Metro, 100%. I feel like he's always been trap, but if you listen to like when he first came out, it was like hard trap, and then he went for like a phase of like more poppy songs, like the song he did with he did a song with Gunner called like Space Cadet. It was more like ambient synthy stuff and more poppy stuff. He did a song with The Weeknd as well. And you just had that phase like between, maybe it was like 2017 to 2020, where it was a bit different, more pop stuff, and then like his last two projects have all been just like classic Metro. So even he's kind of gone through like a kind of like different waves with it. Yeah.
And you never know what these people cook up in their own time as well. Like they might put projects out because these artists want a certain sound, but that doesn't mean that's all they're making. They could be at home just making the most random shit, but they just get called up for certain projects and certain sounds.
100%. I know like so many examples of that. Just thinking of like, okay, even a Chase and Status, who are huge in drum and bass, right? But when they used to pull up to Cockfosters, a lot of the time they were doing drill sessions, you know?
Yeah.
Just following their curiosities, following what they want to do. So do everything, do whatever you want to do, honestly.
Yeah.
But maybe if you want to get placements and stuff, you can think a bit strategic. But I think everyone should just do what they want.
Yeah.
What are so you said you still want placements, but what's your main goal at the moment?
My YouTube channel, really. I still want to keep growing my YouTube.
Yeah.
I really want to do like some good. I really want to do good content, tell some stories and stuff like that. Who was I speaking? I was speaking to someone the other day. Basically, it's mainly growing my YouTube and getting placements like through loops and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I've been thinking a lot recently about the electronic music stuff, and I think there's a good opportunity here for me to DJ and do that kind of stuff too. So I think I want to bring that back again.
Nice. Some good goals. Kind of similar to me, really. Well, like YouTube and placements, I'd say I'd put like YouTube at the top, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that's just always been the main focus. And then under that would be, I don't know, I still feel like growing like the sample pack business is like a big part of it as well, because that's what basically allows me to do what I do. So that has to be one of the main focuses. And then placements as well, I think. But just by like sending loops, preferably. And it's not even like I don't want to get out the house and have sessions. It's just I can't commit to that much time, which is I'm sure you're the same from doing it that past year.
Let me ask you guys this: how many things you can focus on at once, and really move with intention?
Mm.
Yeah,
How many
maybe
things can you juggle and do and execute at a high level?
I feel like you always need one main focus, just one. I don't think you can have like 3 main focuses and put equal time into it. I feel like one has to take up the majority of the time, and then the others a little bit less. I think anyway.
Yeah,
Because there's
yeah, I'd
only
say
so
the
many
same.
hours in a day, man, and like if you're splitting each day, only doing like a couple hours of each thing, it's going to be harder to achieve that goal. Whereas if you put in like 7 hours or something into one day and then a couple hours into another thing, then I don't know, you're just going to get to that goal a lot faster, I think. Anyway,
Yeah, I'd say
so
the
I'd
same.
say I'd say like you need like one main goal, but then you can still have your others there. Just put more effort into the main thing, I think. Anyway,
Yeah, I'd probably
what do
say
you
the
think?
same.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose one main goal right now, placements versus YouTube versus sample packs for you guys, what would you choose?
Um, it would probably be YouTube because I feel like YouTube was the thing that changed my life, and it's been the thing that's allowed my sample back business to grow, and it's been the thing that's kind of got me a bit of recognition to even get placements as well. So I feel like if it wasn't for YouTube, everything else wouldn't have grown with it. So I'd say
Yeah,
YouTube comes first for me.
yeah,
I hear
same here,
that. What
man.
about you, Albie?
Same here. I was like, in the initial stages, I was like really wanting to get placements. So I pursued it quite heavy, as well as YouTube. But yeah, same as Jay. Like everything, like financially, has been through YouTube. To be able to like just live off of it and everything. So yeah, I'd probably put YouTube at the top because that's like the top of the tree, and then everything else kind of trickles down. And like because we were on that placement, well, we were on that placement run for like the whole year, and didn't really get a whole lot from it. I don't know. It just didn't. The YouTube stuff just seems way more like within my control, and you could do a lot of stuff outside of that through YouTube as well. If that makes sense. So yeah, I'd
Let
probably
me
say
ask you boys this, because you went through that year of grafting, doing sessions, and you said not as much. You didn't get like a lot out from it compared to what you're putting in. What would you do if like this year all those placements started coming in? Let's say you got like 10 major placements this year from those sessions. Would you
bro.
change your whole thing then? Would you be like, you know what, maybe we should go back to sessions? Or would you still be focusing on YouTube and not doing those sessions?
It's a tricky one, man. I feel like I can't like I did enjoy that year. Like it was, I enjoyed the travel and like just being like in that studio like grind mode. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if it worked out and yeah, let's say they all started dropping, maybe I'd kind of change my perspective and maybe look into it a bit, look into doing it more like more as the main thing. But it's just tricky, man. It is tricky. It's a
I
hard
don't
one.
think I would. I don't think I would stop and change anything. Kind
Mm,
Yeah.
of. I preferred. I don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the sessions and all that kind of stuff, but I prefer my workflow when I'm not doing sessions and just doing loops and doing my YouTube videos personally,
that's
and
true.
doing sessions every now and again, not daily, not every day, and not
Mm,
grinding. And I don't even look. I don't even like the word grinding too much, man. Like I don't feel like everything needs to be a grind. I feel like it should be more of a flow. Like we're
yeah.
just having fun. It's a celebration. We're making music. It's live. But we
Yeah.
turn it into this grind of like, we need to work. We need to work hard, hard, hard. Beat, beat, beat. Who's in? Let's get in with this person. Beat, beat, beat. I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that feeling. So I don't. I wouldn't want to go back to like grinding it out. I want it to be more like, let's just cook up. Let's just make the best music that we can.
Mm,
Yeah.
Take
That's
the
an
take the
interesting one
ego and
because
the business out of it.
yeah, it is interesting because obviously when you watch like documentaries or you hear stories from them come up, there always is this. There's always a picture of they were grinding non-stop, working hard, sleeping in
Yeah.
studios, like putting like no social life type of vibe. But do you think that's necessary? Because maybe the
It's
people
not.
like at the
When I
top always have those stories, but you don't have to be at the top
But when I say like grind, I'm not saying it should not be hard work and it shouldn't be tough. I think whatever you do, you're gonna have to work hard, right? But like we were sleeping in the studio multiple times a week, and like preparing all day to get cancelled on last minute. But and it's worse for LB because he has to travel back to Laos, which is ages away. Stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like there's just better use of your time. We could grind and make beats, but we can grind and make beats in our own way. I don't know if this is making sense though.
No, I know what you mean.
If you hear what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
just trying to make sure people don't hear that and think, my bad. I was just saying, I feel like I was just going to say that because I don't want people to listen and think, oh, maybe I don't have to work that hard then.
Yeah, no, you have to work hard, but also like, you asked the question, like, if all those placements come out, then would you switch back to it?
Yeah.
Well, if I really believed in like what I was doing, then I would never have stopped because timing is not a thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like when I started YouTube and I uploaded my videos, I never once thought, oh, if it doesn't happen in 6 months, then I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, if I don't get 100k subscribers in the next 2 years, then I'm good. I just want to make my point because I don't think I explained it good at all. I think I kind of fumbled what I was trying to say. I don't think that you don't have to work hard. I think whatever you choose to do, you have to work hard. You have to be obsessed. You have to be committed and all that kind of stuff, for sure. I just feel like the manner in which I was grinding wasn't making sense for me personally. I think if I grinded in a if I put all that time and energy in making loops, I feel like the outcome could have possibly been a bit different. I also think, like, for example, like let's say we was grinding like that, but maybe we was doing it in a LA, for example, where there's way more artists. If one cancels, then we can just pull in another one straight away. Yeah. Or the opportunity is bigger. Then that might have made a bit more sense for that kind of lifestyle we was living. Or maybe we was just wrong and we have to do that lifestyle for 5 years for something to really happen.
To come through, yeah.
I don't know. For me personally, I just feel like the grind could be... Oh, bro, I'm fumbling it. I know what I'm saying.
No, that made sense. I know what you were saying.
Yeah,
that made perfect sense.
I think like you could do it. You can definitely do it. There's so many different ways to do it, and maybe our circumstance when we started doing that wasn't as favorable to do it in London compared to other people. So you got the guys like 8 and Harry and Kieran where it suited them because they had Sean who had the connects and they were getting like literally session like 2 maybe 3 sessions a day. Like they were really like they had the feed of sessions, whereas ours we were trying to balance YouTube, we were trying to balance sample packs plus trying to grind sessions every week. And maybe
that's perfect. What you're trying to that's what I'm trying to say. Like if that's all you're doing, if that was your one thing and you was doing sessions every single day, like Harry Beach for example, that's your thing. Perfect. That's what you should do. Yeah, that's that I think. Yeah, you nailed it. Whereas like, I don't think we was doing it optimally. No. We was grinding in many. Our focus all over the place. Okay, we have to film this video now, and then we have to do the session, and then we have to like. It wasn't. It just wasn't ideal. Whereas like, making melodies is more of a favorable workflow for us, for example.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Then when you asked me if I think you can have multiple goals. Well, obviously, like you can have multiple goals, but that prime example there, if your main goal was placements at that time, but then you were also working on YouTube and sample packs, and you obviously couldn't put as much time into the placement side as maybe you needed to, or you would have liked to if you just had that one goal, like the guys at Signature that are doing that.
Yeah, and also like
it's quite a difficult balance. You haven't really seen much producers who execute on a super high level on YouTube and industry in a way. Like you do get, of course, like Nick Mira does his videos and that, but he will dip out for ages. Or Rio Leva, he would do it for a while and dip out for a while. Even Kenny Beats takes breaks, whereas like we've been uploading. You was uploading every day at one point, or we've been uploading consistently for every week for a very, very long time, and just still trying to pull off like 4 or 5, whatever, how many sessions a week. Yeah, if we had a team, I think we could have balanced it way better. For example,
100%, yeah, because it did kind of like skew everything. Because like maybe our focus wasn't as good in sessions because we're still trying to think about kit drops and think about content that needs to come out, and then our loops won't be as good because we're just kind of like trying to bash out a few loops for the session, but we're not spending enough time on it. Whereas the guys like Harry and 8 and them guys, like it's their main focus, so everything they did was geared towards sessions. So Harry would have a day where they're just cooking up loops all day for one specific artist, and they're really, like spending a good amount of time on each loop. And then there'd be in sessions they'll be cooking up to those loops, or they just had like a whole ecosystem around doing sessions. Whereas with us, like we had everything separate. Maybe if like we streamlined it and made the sessions a priority, but also use that to then create content around. Not as feasible because some rappers don't like to be on camera and all that kind of stuff. But maybe it could have worked a bit better if it was done that way round. But again, like you never know. You know, we didn't do that, so we never would have been able to tell.
But also, time can tell, man. Maybe the placements don't drop ASAP, but they could drop in a year. They could drop in 2 years. That's that music industry game. You just have to have patience.
Yeah.
From speaking with the guys at Signature who do play that game of just grinding out every day for placements, what vibe did you get from them? Like, did they enjoy that? Was it fulfilling them? Did they get a lot back from it? Or
50-50. Some enjoy it, some enjoy it. I think like it also depends on the artist that they work with too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they enjoy working with an artist, but not so much. Another one, it becomes more like a job or a chore for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think they also understand too. Like it's very much a long game too. Like stack it up, grind for now, because 4 or 5 years down the line, it will all pay off.
Yeah.
Like, did some of the boys get a number 1 last year?
Yeah, this year too.
Yeah.
Was it this year? Which I bet in those moments, it's like, man, everything's paying off. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially when you go to like a show, like a DBE show, and then your song that you produce is like playing to an arena full of people.
I love seeing that shit.
Yeah, it's the craziest. But yeah, it's just a whole different game.
We need to just create our own shows, man. We'll be live tutorials in arenas.
But I think like going back to the project side of things, because we're building, it's something a little bit different to like the traditional producer where you're kind of building your own audience by yourself. It might make sense more for us to do like projects and stuff like that, like what you did with Geo. Even though like you said, like maybe your brand wasn't big enough, but you keep growing, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of doing it through placements, you just built your own through social media.
Yeah. I feel like that's going to be more of a path for me. Like, I don't know. I enjoy sessions sometimes, but yeah, I prefer just doing my own thing as well.
Yeah. Do you get that feeling like sessions are fun, but do you get the feeling that's like your gut is always just like, I'd rather just have, like you say, like your own thing, like your own projects, and just kind of having it under your own name, because that's what that's essentially what we've all been working towards this entire time, right? Like we've all been trying to build our own brand through like YouTube and all that stuff. So why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? It doesn't make sense to do stuff away from that. If that makes sense, where we're not like putting out our own projects. So, yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like when I've had sessions before, like I don't just let anyone pull up here because it's my house. So I usually book out a studio, and then if it's a decent artist, you don't just want to take them to like pirate. So I'll end up like booking a day at a good studio that's costing like 300 plus for the day, and then we might not be able to film there. Like I've done this a couple of times, and then recorded some stuff, and then same thing, we've just never released it. Yeah, and I'm like, man, I've just spent like quite a lot of money in that one day, haven't been able to film. And then the whole time I'm there, most of the time you just like keep watching them record, or you're just cycling through beats anyway. Like I haven't always had to like cook up from scratch. Like sometimes, but most of the time I like I'll pull up some beats and then cycle through some beats, and then you just sat on the chair whilst it depends if you're engineering or not, but if they've got an engineer, it's like you'll sit on the chair whilst they record, and it's like, man, like, in those moments you feel like you could be doing something more valuable with your time, because you're not like hands-on in those moments. But then obviously if the song comes out, then it feels like it's worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of want to get. I kind of like though, just making stuff, just really being in the moment, making shit, and whatever kind of happens. Like, yeah, it would be really, really nice to get the placement, but I think sometimes when you worry about getting the placement too much, it takes your eye off the ball a little bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it takes the enjoyment away as well.
Yeah. I want to hear the perspective of someone who only focuses on placements in terms of like the intention behind it, and like, do you really only focus on making something specific, or do you drift off? Do you like to do other stuff to make different kind of shit
It's
and
funny
then
when
come
we
back to
meet
it?
people who are just playing the placement game. A lot of them ask us about YouTube because they want to step into our world and
Yeah,
start the whole YouTube and sample pack thing.
Yeah.
Like, we've noticed that with a lot of people, and then we're the same with them. It's like, oh, we're trying to get these placements, so
it's
they're
like the
like, oh,
grass
I'm
is
trying to
always
sell
greener
these
on the other
packs.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, 100%.
literally, bro. And it's like, you know what? I just remembered as well. Whenever we did, it wasn't all the time, but we'd have like a session with another producer who was like more industry stuff, like Eight or Harry or Kieran, and just the signature guys. And like maybe they've had the whole day of making like melodic trap stuff for someone, and then they'd pull up to a session and be like, oh, what do you fancy making? And they're just like, anything but trap, bro. Like, they're not trying to make that either. And then we're the same, like, we're not trying to make a certain genre because that's all we're making, like 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what my point was, but yeah, it just popped into my head.
What's been the most random genre that you've made on the channel that's performed way better than you thought it would? Where you've completely like gone out there and thought, oh, no
Yeah,
one's gonna like this, and then it's done well.
probably the Lil Yachty one. I knew straight away because that one did quite well. And it was when he dropped his album. I was trying to do that where whenever an artist drops an album, I'll make a beat for it. And yeah, it was like a proper,
Yeah.
it was a proper old school one. It was just off the back of the Europe trip, and we made some random stuff with Gami, similar kind of stuff. So I was like, oh fuck it, let me just try it again. And yeah, that was probably the most random one. Really good fun to make as well. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I
Ocean?
remember that video because they used a lot of live drums on that album as well, didn't it?
Yeah, like synthy, like old school, like synth. Yeah, I know what you mean, like funky synths.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
What would you say for yourself?
I remember when I first did a boom bap tutorial, and they tend to do quite well on the channel, which I was surprised about because going from like drill to boom bap, it's like they're just so different. Like, I feel like what we were saying earlier, if someone's into drill, they probably like trap. They like anything like aggressive sounding. But then when I was making some like soulful boom bap, those videos actually do well, and a lot of people are asking for more boom bap tutorials. And then I did a poll recently to see what people wanted for the next launch. I was like, another drill bundle, a trap bundle, or a boom bap bundle, and most people voted for boom bap. And then a couple of people in the comments were saying like, oh, if it's boom bap, I'm passing this one because I don't make any. But clearly people were voting for it, so I'm like, man, that could be like another thing to focus on at the moment. And drill was the least voted one. This is just in terms of packs. So obviously I've released a lot of drill packs in the past, but it was like boom bap, then trap, and then drill. So that was quite interesting. But yeah, for videos, I'd say when I made that shift to just doing like a couple boom bap ones, that was quite interesting to see.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Of recent, I can only think of my series of when I'm trying to do a different genre, like learning how to make amapiano or learning how to make Brazilian funk. And all of those have done pretty well, to be fair. Learning how to make tech house, that one did well too.
Some of the ones like merging genres can do well too. Like we've done like amapiano and drill. I was like,
I saw
it's
that.
almost like I'm not stepping too far out of it, but
remember when you did the house and drill one?
The house and drill, in Cyprus.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that one went crazy.
Yeah.
So things like that are cool to see.
Yeah.
That's a good way to explore a new genre without fully merging over, because then you're gonna get people from both sides then. Because if it's someone that makes house, they might be like, how's he merged that with drill? And then the drill people are like, how's he merged that with house? So I could see why they could do well.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like to try and do like some out there genres, but with electronic music, like it can get a bit too underground and a bit too like specific. So it might be a bit too specific, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Very niche sometimes.
What if you did a video where it was like 3 of those? So you made like 3 beats in a video, each one from like a very specific subgenre, because then at least you're gonna triple your audience in a way.
Yeah. But
Just more
I
work
think
in the
gradually
video
as well, just introducing the audience to new stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have to like make a shift like tomorrow. I'm just going to make country music. Slowly just trying to make country for the first time, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I feel like your audience does come with you a bit as well, because we're not the only people that go through certain things where we're like, oh, we need to be making different genres. Like I bet a lot of people who are making drill over the past few years, I bet loads of them now are like, I'm so sick of this, man. I'm trying to like explore some new sounds, because we're all creative people. So it's not like everyone just wants to be in one thing.
Yeah, I think it just happens with, like you said, naturally with any creator. Not even just producers or YouTubers, but just anything in life. You naturally just want to try new stuff, explore new worlds.
Of course, yeah. Same with like photographers. If they're just used to doing like wedding shots, they might want to switch up the vibe and do landscape shots. And then
I literally got a friend that's like
people at the gym.
Yeah, literally.
You think of Drake, he hasn't just done rap, he's done everything.
Yeah, he's done everything.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I see myself more like that anyway, just trying new stuff.
I hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Even Timbaland.
Maybe people can let us know in the comments as well if you're listening to it. Let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are. Like, should you be sticking to one thing, or do you want to experiment with other things as well? That'd be a good one to let us know in the comments, because we were chatting about that earlier. So yeah, let us know if you think it's more valuable to stick to one thing or to experiment.
Yeah.
What were you going to say though, LB?
No, I just add in saying like Timbaland was similar as well. Like he did hip hop and then like merged stuff with hip hop, and then he like in his like more later stuff it was more like poppy, like fall to the floor kind of stuff. So yeah, even he kind of switched up over time as well, like more electronic stuff. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
definitely, man. Yeah, it's probably a good time to end the podcast as well.
Yeah.
So much love to everyone for listening once again, and we'll see you in the next one, man.
Peace.